got it?
Are we going? I don't see us.
Should be up and running now.
Okay. Yep. Now it's going.
Let's go.
Or at least I got an ad now. I'm hoping that means that then we pop up. Yep. There I am. Oh, is
What's up?
you're you're killing me, man. What?
Huh.
I can't think of the freaking actor that I'm trying to reference.
Oh,
But anyways, glorious WWE stash
thank you, sir.
really looks nice.
Yes, thank you. Grew it myself.
Mitch, do we have a Patreon?
Uh, no Patreon. We've got we're as of now we're using YouTube memberships and yeah, we've got 4 different tiers on there. Let me figure out a way to link that for you. But we'll definitely look into Patreon too. All right, Steven, looks like we're up. What do you got for us?
Okay. Well, we are going into the women's thousand. Our winning time in B group was um, Runing Tai or Tian from China, following up her fourth place in the women's 500 in A group yesterday with winning B group 116.81 in front of Madison Perriman of Canada and Ragne Wickland, uh, showing some versatility as well in that event.
Yeah, I
Getting
like that drop she's got. Yeah, like if you look at the splits, it goes from like 20th to 14th to third or something like that.
22nd, 14th, third, going from 19-1, 8-5, 9-8. Yes, some very good splits. All
Love to
right,
see it.
hold
Minson
up.
rolling solo right now. And who dropped out of this?
Um, I'm not seeing a skater listed in the pairings.
Okay, so they
Also,
updated it in time. Bummer.
oh, what the heck? You are okay. Where is Min Sun right now for you?
She's on the entering the last corner. Now
Okay.
she's coming out of the last corner. Where you at?
Um, I have her just finishing, but I was like 5 minutes behind.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so they're showing a replay of her entering the first turn right now.
Okay. Yeah, I can go a little further ahead too. I'm gonna hit live. So
Okay.
okay, I've got the next pair on the line. Maybe try hitting live, and you'll skip ahead a little bit. We can
Yep,
get with
I
the
got him
program.
up on the line.
Perfect.
Yep. All right, so pair two, we have Antoinette de Jong, looking to most likely follow up her very solid 1500 meter from last weekend with a medal here in the thousand this weekend. And Na Na Hyung Lee of
Nice.
Korea. Yeah, I nailed that one. Um,
You're getting it.
Antoinette, yeah, mainstay on the World Cup circuit for the last 8 years. Former junior world record holder, Olympic medalist. The accolades go on and on. Um,
Yeah, and
yeah,
one little tidbit to add about Antoinette, her boyfriend, I don't know if it's fiance, husband, but he's super good with social media stuff and getting content. He actually does a lot of the content for the Jumbo team and seems like some other professional teams of sorts. But yeah, really good stuff.
Yeah, seems to be a filmmaker of some sort. I'm not sure if that's his main line of work or just a passion. But Antoinette, way out in the lead. I'm not sure if Lee is sick. I know people have been saying that there's a little bug going around the World Cup circuit, or if maybe an injury, but she seems to be not giving it her all in this thousand. Antoinette
Right.
entered the last turn. She should have a nice race here.
Decent one for Antoinette there. 1:15.6.
Yep,
Yeah,
1:15.67, 9:3 for the last lap, moving into the lead
something
after
that kind of came up yesterday is, would Femke have been better off because the point system is such that like you got to race everything if you want to finish in the top 3, 4 overall in the season,
Mhm.
unless you're gonna win everything except maybe one of them. But even then, if you got somebody getting second, thirds, almost all the way through, it's going to be almost impossible to pass them. So should Femke, while sick, still just go to the line, get her points? I know that doesn't look good, but I mean, that's a fair bit of cash in her pocket that she's missing out on just from not going to the line.
Yeah, yeah. I uh, I know I've heard many different opinions. Oh, look at that. We got Yuskov's old coach on the backstretch for Morozova.
And for those that don't know, Steven skated with Yuskov one time and basically made Yuskov the man he is. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not. All I'm saying, folks, is he had whatever results that he had prior to skating with me. But about 2 weeks after he did skate with me, he skated a world record. So
I'm saying
yeah,
he got that rub.
yeah, get a little bit of that like 47-4 rub. All right, El Elia Smeding on the
Nice.
inner, Morozova on the outer. We got an 18-7 for Smeding. Morozova, another one that I think might have been sick last week. Um, she won the B Group 15 yesterday, but placed dead last in A Group the week before, which not a typical result for her.
Right.
But yeah, hopefully can bring it back here with a nice thousand. 15 yesterday did seem to be better. A little choppier than I remember her being. I
Yeah.
really like her skating. She sits like when she's skating well, she sits freaking deep.
Yeah, I think Olympic season she was cooking. Um, and this happens, people have some down years after the games, but yeah, she skates really nice when she's on.
Hmm.
7-8 for that lap.
Yeah, not a bad race.
Oh, I
Or
gotta
she rolling out.
do the social media posting
She moves
first.
in the second. Oh, a few things, folks. Um, I've got the very tall Dutch model winning this one. Yuda in first. I think Kimmy's going to be in second. I think it's going to be really close. And then Tommy is calling the Kimmy upset.
Okay, I like to hear it.
Tommy is not in the chat. He has races probably in like 5 hours in Milwaukee. But he messaged me last night. Um, yeah.
Right. Well, we'll let it slide, on for Tommy there. Um, but I like that. I like that pick. Kimmy's been dealing with a little toe action, little toe injury, uh, but hopefully can ice it or numb it enough that it's not an issue.
Mm-hmm. All right. Duranova on the outer, Yamada on the inner. Here's a great example of there isn't one body type for speed skating. Yeah. Yamada, I don't know what the numbers are, but much shorter than Duranova, who is I would say well on the more tall, long, and lanky side. All that being said, she really does keep her turnover up in these races. Yamada ahead at 600, 7.9, Duranova with an 8.1. Yamada on pace to move into the lead, and she's going to get a really nice draft here.
Sounds like you're
So what did you, who did you pick for this one?
So for today's, I'm not actually sure. I'm gonna have to double check on that one. I've got Yuta. Yeah, Vic picked first, and he did go with Kimbo.
Okay.
Yeah, he really snuck me there. Oh. Just realized my camera was down.
Take this for what it is. 3 Kazakh athletes in A group this week.
Yeah, they've got a good squad. I know that Alexei Yesin is their sprint coach, and he was a pretty darn good skater himself. So,
Is that the former Russian 500,000 guy?
yep, I think he got maybe silver at a World Sprints. Yeah, pretty good overall skater. Skates really nice too. Just like a super smooth type skater. Yeah, here we go. Oh.
All right, Karolina Boziak in the inner lane, and Yekaterina Yadova on the outer.
Yeah. Is this pair 5 we're working with here?
Yes, pair 5. Yeah, also here a couple of skaters that just skate nice. Yekaterina has been on the World Cups for a good bit of time now and just has a nice, just good, solid fundamental skating.
Nice yawn there. Wow.
Thank
Yeah, I really like that she's always just gone out and competed. I think she's done everything from 500 to the 3K. And I was saying the other day, I want to count how many races she's done at this point, because she's got to be up there for the overall lead, or will be at the end of her skating career. Pretty nice race here for Boziak. I feel like that's gonna be a little fist pump.
Oh yeah, and she's setting herself up for a really nice draft.
Oh, you're way behind again.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh. How the heck? All right, did she finish?
Yes.
All right, 16.63. All right, I don't know how I got
Coffee difficulties here, folks. I think we just had one go down. You got it figured out.
It's especially not good when it's not your computer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Your lady's going to be upset about that one. Uh-oh. Yeah, Ayano Sato here. again, another member of the Jap. She's only 26. Wow. Member of the team pursuit team for seemingly a while now. And they actually, just got Momoka Horikawa. I think the one piece they're missing from Nana Takagi was another 1500 3K skater, and it seems like Momoka's filled that role. But obviously, Miho being the strongest, and then Sato and Momoka. I just like saying her name now.
It is a fun name.
There we go. 18-2-2 for both. Dead even. Getting over each side on the backstretch. That's nice. Herzog's going to pull through a little bit. Sato should be the stronger finisher, though. Very nice skating there.
We're almost back up and running, folks.
Just a coffee incident on 16-7. Oh, Herzog. Maybe Herzog's got a little bit of the bug too. A bit off of what she went previously. Last season. Oh, that's really loud. Last season she had some pretty solid thousands. Antoinette still sitting in first, 115.6.
It's still in first by a wide margin.
Yeah, they A group, B group throws things off, and yeah, I know we'll talk about it on the men's side too, but it's a funky point system. That's for sure. You can get stuck down in B. And stuck in the early pairs of the A group as well. Sumiri Kikuchi, one of the many Kikuchis. How are we looking over there, Hartman?
Okay.
We up and running?
Yep, I'm all good now. Speaking of getting stuck down in B group, I had figured that a 13th place in A would have been enough to keep Zach up.
That's
in
what I was saying. I think, yeah, that's super unfortunate,
Like, I guess I don't know if it was like this in past years, but I thought that it was based off of just that last result.
Overall points.
Yeah, but it's always been overall points.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, I don't know. Call me old-fashioned, folks, but I think if you beat 7 people, you shouldn't get penalized for it because you weren't racing in the same race as them previously. Same thing with Lorenzen, too.
Yep.
Like, beats half the field and moves down.
It's going to be tough. Even with a super nice draft in the backstretch. She's been, must have been working on a little speed since their trials, because she's picking up the pace a bit. Not quite as quick as her race in Obihiro. She had a really nice one there, but
she did.
Not bad.
Oh. All right, big pair coming up here.
Who we got?
We have Kimberly Getz,
Let's go.
skater out of the U.S. on the inner, and
Oops.
Han Mei, who finished second in yesterday's 1500, I believe her first World Cup medal on the outer.
Yep, first World Cup medal. Let's see. Hopefully the toe can hold up here. Pair 8. Hopefully she can get off the line well. Looking for a nice deep entry out of Kimmy. That generally sets her up for a fast 200.
What are we hoping for opener wise?
Well, at trials in Milwaukee, she was 17.5, but that was a really really good one. Somewhere around the 17.7, 17.8 range would be totally fine. Can still get the job. Last weekend she was 18.0, but she had a little bit of a stumble at the beginning. Seems good so far.
Yeah, Kimmy looking good. 17.9.4 into the lead.
Totally fine there. And on the lap here would be, I would say, we're looking for a low 7.
2 arms down. Love that.
She will most likely go over the top, it looks like.
All right. 7.2 lap. Well into the lead at 600.
That's about what we were looking for here. 7.2.
Yeah. She's not even going to come close to seeing Han Mei.
Looks pretty good back on this last backstretch. Still getting some weight transfer. Sometimes she gets the head a little too low. Let's see if she can power the finish. Set a good time for Yuta to try and go beat. 1:14.4.
That's a good time.
Let's see here. Right, exactly 2-second drop. I think that's decent. You hope for about that 1.7 to 2 at most two-level ranks. I think Yuta, generally the drop is around there, maybe a little bit bigger, but her first full lap, look for that to be probably a little quicker.
Okay. All right. So Kimmy set in our time to beat going into the last 2 pairs. 1:14.45. Antoinette is still holding on in second after putting that time up in the second pair of the day. We have
your voice.
I'm trying to be quiet.
Oh.
We have Brittany Bowe, world record holder on the inner, and Yuta Leerdam in the outer. Yuta, what would this be? 5, 6. This would be like 7th or 8th World Cup World Championship win in a row for her. She wins this one.
What was that?
She's won. This would be like her 7th World Cup 1,000-meter win in a row, I think, if she wins this.
Yeah, she won all of them last year. That was a very dominant season. She was really winning by quite a bit, setting some new lowland world records and track records along the way. So she was very, very fast. Same exact opener as Kimmy for Britt here. A little slower for Yuta.
Yuta was super wide going into that first turn.
Yeah, but this is one thing that Kimmy did not have was a chase down this backstretch.
Yeah, Yuta's carrying a ton of speed going into 600. Going past Brittany.
Yep, Britt's just getting a little bit tight in those straightaways here, not taking up as much space, and seems like the position could just be a little bit lower.
Mm-hmm. Yuta .07 in front of Kimmy at 600. Carrying good speed. Got under 27.0 for the lap.
Yeah, all these entries for her were really wide. Let's see if she can still hang on. Kimmy had a 2-second drop on the last.
Ooh.
I think she's got it. Let's go.
Here we go, Kimmy.
Let's go. Nope.
Okay, folks. Well,
the dog all jazzed up. Look what I did.
You probably didn't hear it here first, but the streak is over. At the very best, Yuta can only finish second in this 1,000 meter. Who knows? I don't know if it's the ice in Beijing, or maybe she's caught whatever little bug is going around at the World Cup right now, but she has yet to win in China.
To me, that looked more like execution. It seemed like all those entries were way wide. But it seemed like she still had the energy. You know, she was a 6'9" on the lap, but she's probably skated further than anybody by quite a bit. Mm-hmm. That last backstretch, and that's the point where you can, you're not worried about carrying speed or like setting up because you're going so fast. You can cut the track a little bit there, and she really swung out to the pads. I'm not sure if it was 4/10, but it sure didn't help.
No. Yeah, either way. Last pair, we have Kishi Lee on the inner, skating on home ice, and Miho Takagi on the outer.
Yeah, don't slouch on either of these two. They could totally come in and steal the W.
I mean, Miho has the track record at like 1.3 faster than Kimmy's time.
Right. Now, granted, the ice during the Olympics was very good. Times across the board were way faster than this weekend. And, of course, people were completely prepared. Oh, my gosh, that was a close...
That was... Miho almost just freaking rammed Kishi Lee.
That would have been one way to end the women's Thompson.
Yep. Coming up to 600, well in the lead, 7-3 lap.
7-3.
This
is
going to be really close.
A tight race. Can Miho keep it under 1.9? Kimmy's got a 0.14 lead. This is going to be a close one. Coming around the last corner.
Come on, Kimmy. Come on.
Oh my God, no! Oh my God. Oh, no way.
Okay, so at the conclusion of two events at this Beijing World Cup, Kimmy Getz has finished second in both the first women's 500 meter and the 1,000 meter. In total, to get first in both of those events, she needed to be about this much faster.
Just about 200ths, one would say.
One would say 200ths.
For two races. Holy cow.
Wow. Wow. That's speed skating for you, folks. Close races. Wow. That's wild.
Man, that was intense.
That was.
If people are watching that race intently, that was a fun one to watch as a speed skating fan. Man, 100th takes the win.
trying to think of an equivalent. They always talk in swimming about, you trimmed your fingernails.
Right.
Kimmy shaved down the tips of her blades yesterday.
Yeah, maybe. She's never been great at shooting for the line, so maybe that was the difference maker. She could have had a
Yeah.
little longer kick at the end. I think that's still a great performance, though. So
Oh yeah.
can't be too upset with right there, and
Two more,
and so
two more
low.
medals, moving her medal count after 2 World Cups into 7.
7 after 2, and there's still 2 more races tomorrow for her 500 and team sprint.
Okay. Oh. All right. Wish they'd toss these results up so we could look at World Cup points.
Yeah, I would like to see what the current ranking is. I think we're going to dive right back into the men's 5 here.
Okay. All right. So my picks: Morishige, Gao, Laurent.
Oh my god, just seeing the 100th is painful. Oh, heartbreak.
Ugh. But did you hear that?
I did. Morshiga, you got number 1?
Yep.
Okay. Man, looks cool
Yeah.
in there.
Morishige, I think Gao's gonna hop right back into where he was. He's gonna, or let me see, because it looks like the pairings got changed.
Ooh.
You probably won't be able to utilize much of a draft on Minkyu. Nothing against Mr. Clutch, but a 10-1 opener isn't really going to keep him up with Gao. But yeah, I think Gao's probably about to open up like 9-5 and just freaking hack his way to a decent lap. I think that time's gonna hold up till Morishige goes in the second to last pair. But yeah, I think it's gonna be Morishige and Laurent, 1 and 3.
Okay. I've got Tatsuya as my winner prior to the weekend, and this was my picks in our last GSN episode.
Okay.
Let me see the pairings. I would be hesitant to pick him if it was picking again right now, because
Yep.
he is finishing on the last inner, and he's a big fella.
Where are we here?
114.
Tommy's picks for this one.
Let's hear it.
He's got Wataru for the three-peat,
Okay.
Laurent in second, Tatsuya in third.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's your overall standings right now. Surprised that gave Miho that much of a lead, but I guess Miho's first and second, Kimmy second and third, Yuta is first and third. We got a battle on our hands this season. 100th win there. They were actually a little further ahead of Yuta than she was of them, but we know she's not going anywhere anytime soon. So fun little battle amongst that top 3, and I'd like to see Bernie Bow get back up there. In you go. Pair 2. Wow. Did you see pair 2? I don't know if the people understand that, but that's first and second place from this past Olympics in the 500 meter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to end up that way today.
No. So we're not, this is not a criticism. It just kind of seems to be what it is. But I'm sure there's some Minkyu fans out there. He seemingly does not try unless it's an Olympic race.
Yeah.
Yeah, seemingly at these World Cups, his only goal is to just stay in A group. And he does that. He's done it for years. But yeah.
And I mean, I feel like sometimes he does even drop out or or gets very close to it. But yeah, yesterday 10-1-7. Okay, here we go. Pair 1. You got this. They're up on the line.
Yeah.
Okay. I got some stuff for you today.
All right, let's hear it, Mitch.
Long Lee. He was third yesterday in B, so he moved up. Pretty sweet to be moving up to A on your home track. On speed skating results, Obihiro was his first set of races. Oh, a little false start there. Oh yeah, take your time, boys. This is key right here. When you get a false start, you take your sweet ass time going back to the line. Don't let anybody rush you to get back over there, because there is no time limit. They just want to.
Also, that should be said for any newer skaters to the sport. Don't let them blow in that whistle change your pacing. They're on your time.
Right. Yeah.
Despite what they want you to think, you are in no hurry.
Yep, absolutely. Because I really think, well, getting into more details, but it takes a second to build back that ATP, really your energy source of driving off the line. You can't just rip back over there. So again, his first races since March were in Obihiro. I don't know if these guys have just been in hiding in China, or they just aren't releasing results to speed skating results, but it's been a while. I actually had him. Looks like we had a couple more scratches on the day as well from somebody.
This Chinese skater is moving. 9.7.
9.77, 9.79 for both, or for Piotr. That's a decent one for Piotr.
Yeah. Got a nice chase on the backstretch. Looks like he'll move into the lead.
Well, that left arm's getting stiff, but he's sitting nice and low through that. It's going to be a good close battle to the finish, but Piotr's going to take it. 35-1.
5-1, 5-2. So,
too shabby.
If yesterday's race is any indication, which I guess is that the ice is probably a little bit quicker today, both of those times should be right in there with the main pack. 5-0 got you on the podium last week or yesterday. All right, and here's my my pick for second. It's coming up here in the outer. If you like openers, do not miss this one.
You're picking him for second. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you pick a winning time for the day? I didn't hear that.
Well, I got one pair as a little indicator. I'll go 34.62.
Okay, 34.62. That's a decent one.
I think it's like seemingly just going off of that first pair is a little bit quicker than yesterday.
Okay. I think I'm going to still stick with a little bit slower. I'll say I'll say 74 today.
74. Okay. I think the other thing that might help him is it was thousands before instead of 15s. So ice didn't sit probably for quite as long.
Definitely.
But yeah. All right. Here he is.
This is exciting.
First and second from the last Olympics in the same pairing. We probably.
Do we see an OTT here, or does Minkyu have to stand up? That's what I want to know.
This might be an OTT. Six
No,
two.
it's just going to be a
10-0.
super nice draft because Minkyu's got a great corner.
Yeah.
He builds out nicely, and he knows to get the heck out of the way right now.
Gao is going to beat him to the turn.
Oh, that he had to shorten his strokes a little bit there. Minkyu did
He
not
did.
move
Probably
over.
cost him a little bit of time there.
Oh,
All in all, that's
strong.
really good skating for Gao. 34.94. Good time.
For having
Good
to
time.
slow up just that little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably would have been a 34.8 if didn't get held up on the backstretch.
Yeah.
I think all in all, you know,
Not bad.
I've seen much wilder races out of Gao.
Oh, here's a
That's for sure.
good backstretch view. Yeah, he for sure. Minkyu needed to move out of the way. Honestly, it's mean to say, but he needs to move down to B right now. He's just not at the level. And again, the way that the point system is, he starts in A. You can stay in A so much easier than making your way out of B. But that's 2 races in a row. He's opening in the 10s, and looks like he just needs a little more motivation right now to get going.
Yeah.
But obviously, I mean, he's got 2 Olympic medals, so the guy's a freak show when he wants to be.
Yeah, I mean, it isn't a knock on his ability level.
No, he's just not at this moment.
Yeah.
Kai's another one. You know, he for a while has been one of the best skaters in the 500 and 1,000. He had the 1,000 sea level world record until young Jay Stoley took it from him. But yeah,
Jay
slow
Stoley
start to
does.
this year.
Mitch.
Yep.
Misinformation. Jay Stoley doesn't have the 1,000-meter lowland world record.
Oh, is it Pavel still?
Yeah, it's Pavel.
Okay. Yeah, my mistake. 983, 984. That's actually much better skating, it looks like, from Kai. He might
Yep.
have
Got a nice
might have
chase
figured it
there.
out today.
Ooh, this one could be quick.
Yeah, there we go. That's a better lean out of Kai than we've seen. I like this.
There we go, Kai.
Better. Still not what he's used to.
35.09.
I feel like a 983 or 984 opener for him and that kind of skating, it looked like he'd be back in the 34s, but that gave a nice glimmer of hope. Koopa Loop looked like not his greatest 500 there, but a nice opener. Might also be dealing with some of that same sickness that's been floating around.
Yes. Coop moves into 5th. All right. We got a Dutch pairing here. Hind back after taking the first 500 off.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. You know, he sat just one race. Heine, sat out yesterday. He had multiple World Cup podiums in the 1,000 last season. Nice guy, and he's one of the boomer bust type skaters. I feel like look for him or Tatsuya to either be first or last. They're just big fellas that it's hard to hold that speed. The heavier you are, the harder it is to hold around that last corner. Hein's a little bit more inconsistent on the openers than Tatsuya, but when he does get going, he could have a good one. Botman out pretty nicely there. His best finish so far in a 500 is a 6th place.
Ooh, Hein with a 10-0. Not what he wants. Yeah, Botman with a 9-7.
Amazingly, though, for Hine, if that was a 10-0 because he built through the 100, that he can still have a nice race. But looks like, yeah, he's just a little too far back there.
Yeah. My guess is Hine has caught whatever bug is going around the circuit. Yeah.
For sure.
35, 44 for somebody that just podiumed last, or was one spot off the podium last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hopefully everybody gets nice and healthy for next World Cup in Stavanger. They've got a week off after this one to get it together.
All right.
Young Botman.
Who did you say for first again?
I had Tetsuya for day 2.
Okay.
There he is. Young Gao. I wonder how much of a celeb he is these days over there. Foe. Is that right? Pair 5. Oh, I gotta update our live pairing. Nil double L O P. Izquierdo. Love it. Yep, pair 5. Okay. He's 15th yesterday. He's 21 out of Spain. I'm excited for another Spaniard. I think he's actually from Venezuela, but he's got dual citizenship. Chevy Guzman. He's getting the groin checked out, and he can start to do start soon. Look for that dude to be coming because he knows how to skate really well, and he's maybe the strongest dude I've ever seen as a speed skater. And then we got Bjorn Magnuson. Best finish so far in a 500 is 6th. Not this season, but overall 981, 987.
Bjorn with a 981 opener. Should get a little bit of a chase here. Does get a chase.
Nil with a nice position through that last corner.
Yeah.
Just a little squirrely on the straights, but this one looks pretty good.
Yeah, Neil was really low, leaning a lot through that second turn.
Mm-hmm. He's very twitchy. I think if he can keep settling down just that tiny bit more and getting it more of his power into it, just hoping that the twitch is enough there, I think he's going to keep making some nice gains. Just a little bit fast from stroke to stroke.
Okay.
Only 21 years old, so he's got the whole world ahead of him.
He's got his whole life ahead of him.
Whole life.
Okay,
It's
so
time to eat a cookie.
going into our second half of these 500-meter pairings, the man that at least I am seeing on screen is in front, Tingyu Gao.
Yep. Yo,
34.94 is our time to beat. Should be said that it most likely would have been a little bit quicker had his pair been anybody else.
Got Big Daddy Bosa here. Don't think he's actually a dad, but he's just such a beefcake, you gotta call it. He was 5th in the 1,000 last weekend. He has not medaled yet in a 500, so looking for his first. I think he's got all the power in the world. He just needs to make sure it gets into the ice. So just that, he needs to go that 99% in these races instead of full bore. But that is a easier said than done task. Marit.
Yeah, that was speaking of the sort of, and you could expand on this, but just take an example from my personal athletes. I was having to have the conversation with them yesterday. We were doing a sprint day, and today is going to be our last day of our first full week of long track ice in Roseville.
Yep.
And explaining to some of the younger girls, sprinting it's like who has the best ratio of able to output the most effort while still staying technically sound and like hitting their technical points in races.
Right.
And yeah, trying to get some of the young girls in my group that are generally pretty timid, and if you give them really anything to think about, their effort level drops down to like 5K effort level.
Right.
Is yeah, just something that I'm working with on explaining to them. I don't know if you want to expand on that. I know you've talked about that being like the main challenge of being a 500 meter or 1,000 meter skater.
Yeah, and that's why I think sprinting is so difficult. That, you know, to me, giving physical, just hard effort is easier than staying disciplined in your mind to not go full board and tense up and, you know, push as hard as you can, because that's not how you go the fastest. And that's just so hard to do, to actually get that little bit of discipline and focus when you are going essentially your 100%. So that's a really tough one. Speaking of Keely, I just saw on her Instagram, loved her post from after the U.S. Championships. Said something about just, I love this sport, and then a bunch of pictures from it. This girl's in it to win it.
Yeah, she's been a fun one. I think this will be like the 1 year anniversary of her starting to skate.
That was false start. Yep.
Yep. If you're wondering, folks, that's a false start.
That there is a false start.
But yeah, Keely joined Chris Winman's group, Midway's level 2 group last year. Swimmer and a former hockey player, and has picked up speed skating very quickly.
I could see the swimming part for sure.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see the hockey side of things. We're gonna play a game next Friday.
Marijn Scheperkamp here got out pretty well. He was coached by his dad for a while on
Really?
one of the regional teams there. Yep. 979, pretty nice. Zurich 999. That's probably off of what he wants, but my guess is sat on the line a bit after the false start, even though it does go to both skaters. Marijn, believe it or not, only has one podium finish in a 500 meter. I thought that was pretty surprising. Only one.
That is. Huh.
And it's not going to be today on that one. But yeah, I think ice is seemingly quite a bit slower. Maybe they just made it a lot slower after Ga went. Start blowing the air the opposite way.
Yeah, they have all the fans in the stadium right now, folks, pointed against the athletes, and they're just telling everybody to exhale super heavily.
Yeah, that was a surprising one. That looked like a decent race out of Marijn, but to be a 5.2 and off a 9.7, so I guess we'll see where the rest of the pack holds up.
Yeah, this is really where the level steps up for these 500-meter pairings. Kai still in second, and the fastest Dutchman of the day. He's another guy similar to Antoinette last weekend in the 3K. Didn't officially qualify for the Dutch team, but they still brought him. Maybe as an alternate, or just because they know that he'll skate consistent races, and seemingly is coming into his own now at these World Cups and putting together some good ones.
Oops.
All right, Juho Kim on the inner, Tetsuya Shinhama on the outer.
Okay, this is my pick, semi-reluctantly because he has last inner, but the big dog's got speed.
Yep.
9.59. Fast
Good
enough to get the
opener.
job done, but that's a little bit slower than yesterday's race. He's going to gobble up Junho on the backstretch. Let's see. I'm sure he's. Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Oh
yep.
no!
There you
It
go.
just is every time.
So,
Poor guy.
okay. So let's have the conversation about this.
Yep.
Um, Juho moves into second, 35.08. Tatsuya 35.29. All right. So we watched Merrick skate. We watched Hines skate.
Right.
Both also big guys. What seemingly, I mean, because Tatsuya is booting out and he's not even close to the apex.
Right. That
Is it a technical thing? Is it purely a power thing?
I think it's a combo, but I think it's what we were talking about before. I think him not staying relaxed into that last corner is a big part of why he has that stumble. If he's able to just embrace it, settle into the skating, and power through the last corner, obviously he'll be able to go fast. But I think it's as soon as you get stiff or a little bit tense, that landing is going to go quick and you're going to lift upwards. And a big body like that, there is no room for error. This guy, on the other hand, Morishige, he's so small in comparison that any little bobble, he has a lot better chance. And just think about the amount of force that is being put into those blades for a Tatsuya who's probably 220 pounds, if I had to guess. He is a big unit. And no matter how strong he is, it's just going to be hard to counteract that.
Hmm.
Especially on some tracks where the corners are a little bit tighter. But surprising at a rink like this, like he should be able to figure it out at a slower rink.
All
Dad bod
right.
God, he's off with
Yep.
Morishige. 967, maybe no transponders for Laurent here.
Oh God, I hope not.
Yeah, hard to tell. Laurent swinging a bit wide. Morishige hanging tough. Good race out of the two of them, though. Oh, nice one.
There it is, 34.69 for Morishige Laurent with a 34.8. There's that race that we were waiting to see from Laurent.
Yep.
Both of them move in front of Gao.
Great to see
Okay.
there.
All right. There's the dad bod.
What was that time guess you said? You said 62?
62. So
Ooh.
I was right. It's quicker today.
I got
Or
you
at least
by
Morishige is quicker.
like 200 so far. We'll see.
Yeah. But yeah, Laurent much quicker than yesterday. Um,
Yeah, he's going to be happy with that.
yeah. Oh, also, I said it to my athletes yesterday, so I'm gonna make my early prediction.
First white
Tom,
man on
Tom,
the 500 podium.
Thomas Kroll medals in the next World Cup 1500.
Okay. Mark it down. Don't let me
Heard
forget
it
on that
here.
one.
Heard it here first. I think two weeks of training for him is a lot of time to,
And back to the European time zone.
yeah,
Yeah, it can't hurt.
lot of time to stitch up that. What was I gonna say? A lot of time to stitch up that last lap of the 15.
Hmm. Let's see what Yuma can do here. I don't think Yamamoto is going to be able to. Oh, little arm movement from the inner there. But
All
man,
right.
look at that. That is gorgeous skating out of Yuma. 947. God, if you want to work on your openers, study this dude. It is just a
Yeah.
rocket coming out. Look at this chase.
Oh, it does not get any better than that.
Had to dodge the cone just a little bit. Let's see if he can
Oh, come on, Yuma. Hold it.
keep it together through the finish.
Check some
Oh,
cones
right
coming on the
there. Oh
turn.
my gosh.
34.82 moving into third.
What a battle.
It was, there we go.
Look at that. Murakami, third place on the day. 947 though. My God.
Yeah. And 9.4. That 9.4 is well outside the realm of something that I can comprehend.
I'm right there with you, man. That is fast. Yeah, very nice.
Right.
Okay, so we got a 1-3 Japan finish.
Yep. Wataru Morishige, his third World Cup victory in a row in the 500, skating a 34.96. Laurent Debrol back up on the podium, 34.81 in second. Seemingly building into these World Cups. If I'm him personally, this is right where you want to be. Gets to move into a nice little 2-week training block, go
Yeah,
back into the
absolutely.
European time zone, and my guess is he'll be cooking. Ryan with the butt slapped for Morishige.
Gotta give it to him.
Yeah. And then Yuma Murakami with the 34.82. That's a pretty good time. Uh, yeah, all opener there. And then, yeah, Tingyu Gao making his return after his
Fourth
bid
for
for
Gao.
Olympic gold. Yeah. You think so? Was Gao held up 1.12 worth of speed? We're watching it. There it is.
Debatable.
Do you think that back stretch cost him 1.2 or 0.12?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because he did get a nice chase out of it at the beginning, so got to take some.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, let's see. Laurent, second place. Third, 81. 100th battle there again.
All right.
But solid one out of Gao, and yeah, it's gonna be a nice little battle going forward. I think that's exactly how it's gonna end up going. Laurent looking like he's obviously second place, but coming around probably quicker than anticipated. That was nice to see. And going to Stavanger and Poland will be great for him.
Yes.
Koopa Loop finishing 19th on that. Darn. He'll probably drop out of A. I wonder if Gao plans to go to Europe, but more than likely he will also drop out of A group. He's just gonna have that
Where's
bounce
where's
back and
World Cup
forth.
4?
World Cup 4 is in Tomashev, Poland.
Okay. I'm just thinking I mean, he probably doesn't have enough points for world singles. I'm just thinking about 34.94. Is that enough to qualify for
Absolutely
world
not,
singles?
because the Salt Lake World Cup this year counts.
Oh, that one counts towards world singles?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Gao has things mapped out, but I mean, he seemingly is one to train versus race.
Right.
And yeah, my guess is he probably trains all the way up until that Salt Lake World Cup then. So I mean, you kind of said it, Laurent coming into form maybe a little bit earlier than we would have expected. Um, in the best possible way. But what are your thoughts about these men's 500 meters at the conclusion of the first two World Cups?
I just had I had men's 1,000 listed on there the whole time. Damn it.
It's a rinky-dink operation here, folks. We're spilling coffee. We're marking the wrong events.
Idiot. Yeah. Let's see where we're at here.
Anything?
Sorry, working with the stream.
Okay.
You were just asking about the men's fives.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the point standing right now. Yeah. Do you have any predictions moving into the rest of the World Cup season? I mean,
Yeah, I think the Laurent
we have 2 weeks to sit around and speculate.
the
So
Laurent one's great to see that he's coming around. The Japanese are just lights out. Morimoto did not skate today, but he would have been in the final four pairs along with all of the rest of his fellow compatriots. Maybe that is enough to keep Coop in A. Man, it's sure when you start there, it's a heck of a lot easier to stay. That's sometimes it pays off. Um, as of now, Stoles would be out of A, but we'll see who all goes. Um, Nil Lop in 10th. It just, yeah, right now it seems like it's a battle amongst the top five because they seem to be a bit further out front than normal.
yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, these last two races don't suggest it, but I mean, seemingly it's all lane dependent for Shinhama. Yeah, Juho. I feel like we haven't talked about him much, but I mean, he's been right there
Yeah, he's
every
skating
race.
well.
Yeah, he's skating really well. Yeah, Morishige just looking really solid. He seemingly doesn't have the same upside as Tatsuya, but very consistent. Doesn't have to worry quite as much about what lane he's in
Right.
or what rink he's at. Skates well at Salt Lake, skates well in Obihiro, Beijing, wherever he's at. So, yeah.
Oh, look at that. Steven, you see this podium? You see a GSN hat right there?
I think I do. I think I do. Oh, look at that. Right on screen. Man, that's a
Nice.
nice cap. That's nice.
Yes, thank you. Get your very own GSN apparel. Ricky Bobby Inc.
Ricky Bobby Incorporated.
Miho with a well-deserved win. Well, I'm going to be a little salty about that. But 100th off of first for Kimmy there. Wow, Yuta is significantly bigger than the other two.
Yes. The very tall Dutch woman looks very tall right now.
Yeah, yeah. That's our. It's gonna be a fun little pack to continue to watch. Three of them are a good ways out front at the moment. Yeah, and I've got hopes that I think Britt can still pull it around for the rest of the season. Just missing her top speed really, sitting a little bit too high.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm not trying to put up some front here, folks. You get the raw, uncut version of Steven Hartman here.
I'll be right back.
Also, I'm highlighting a friend here, but really good to see Kai in seventh. Yeah, I know he's been he struggled last year, I believe, with some injuries. But yeah, good to see him staying up in that top pack of 500-meter skaters. He's been on the World Cup circuit for a while, and it's not easy to have staying power in those events. All right. So men's 5,000 meter, which it's looking like they're going to have that first pair on the line right after this 500 podium. But Mitch, any predictions?
Oh yeah, you better believe it. Let me change this up to say men's 500 podium.
Okay, I was gonna say not men's 500. We're going into the men's 5K.
Yeah.
It's a slightly different event.
Yeah, I don't think Morishige is gonna take this one. They're Cotton.
Okay.
Let's see. Yep, look at these guys. Very nice. I think Roast is gonna do it again. I think his 1500 showed just how freakishly strong he is. That race was nuts. I think the way that he finished that last lap, and it's not like he was going slow at the beginning, but man, he finished super strong there.
Yeah. No, that was very, very impressive.
I think he's got the energy right now, and I think he'll be the one to beat. That said, Jodo and Sander could do well. I think, like Vic said on our show as well, Sander wasn't super psyched with this race, which is nuts because he still set the track record or the previous track record, or at least was like right on it. So
Yeah.
Can't be too bummed, but yeah, I think those three again will have a nice battle throughout the season. But I think right now, Roast seems to be the strongest.
Yeah, my guess is Roast. I think he'll skate like a 6:14.
It's a solid
I
guess.
think Giotto is going to be. This is a really boring pick, but I think it's going to be the same podium, same order, but I think they're all gonna. I think they're gonna tighten up.
Okay.
I think Sanders can be closer to Giotto. I think Giotto might make up, I don't know, maybe half a second on Roast. Yeah, my guess is like a 114 low for Roast. Maybe he squeaks into sorry, not 114. That would be really quick. A 614. Maybe a high 613. But
Let me see who's Roast paired with.
and I'll agree with this one as well. So these are Tommy's picks. He's got Roast winning. Didn't put anything down for the other podium finishers.
Mm-hmm.
He said Dawson top 6, and I'm gonna agree with him there. I think Casey's about to have a good one, or at least I really hope Casey's about to have a good one. Yeah, I think Casey's got a lot of upside. And in all honesty, that this might be a little wild. I like him freaking like going out easy in these races.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if he sticks with that or if he changes it up this time.
Mm-hmm.
Is Bosker racing in today's race? don't know if Casey will finish top 6 just yet. But the kid has tons of potential, so he can definitely get there. All right, who's kicking us off here?
All right. Last one. Okay. We have Riku Tushida, 6:14.01 personal best versus Yu Wu of China with a 6:21. Tushida's personal best is from Calgary. Wu Yu's personal best is from Urumqi. So both high elevation rinks. Wu, for those of you that have a visual, is on home ice. He is from China. And Mitch, do any of their higher level athletes train in Beijing?
Yep.
Okay.
It sure seems like they do. Let me change up this men's 5,000 meter.
All right. Wu coming through at 600 with a 9.5. 9.5. Quick lap.
Let's see what we got here. Wu on the home ice, 9.8. Off to a pretty solid start for both of these guys.
Oh yeah, both of them 9.8 at 1,000. That is a very nice lap time.
A really good former Russian skater is coaching for the Chinese, it looks like. $9.7. Yeah, I think he's jazzed up to be on the home track.
Yeah, both these athletes keeping their lap times under 30. That's really encouraging. Hopefully they hold this pace. But, yeah, encouraging for some quicker races here to come.
Yeah, I was going to say before, I think my bold prediction was going to be that Roast actually goes sub 6:10.
Okay.
After seeing his pair, I don't know if that is going to be the case. I was hoping he'd be with somebody that's going to go out a little hotter. I think Sverre is going to be playing his cards a little bit cooler at first. But he did finish with 5th last weekend, so he could help out Patrick a bit. 9.8 here for Wu.
Yeah, Sverre finished 5th, but which is a great result, but definitely a gap between those top 3 and the rest of the field. And I want to say Sverre was like a 6.19 last weekend, and Sander was a 6.13.
Yep.
And he also, Sverre, if I'm remembering correctly, was negative splitting at the end of his race. So
yeah, he looked
if he takes the same approach, I don't think Roast is going to see much of him.
Hey, Shane Williamson coaching for the Japanese.
Oh,
look at that.
There you go.
Wu, though, just hit his first O on that last lap.
Shane Williamson was a pair of mine at my last Junior World 1,500 meter. He blew by me with 500 meters left and didn't see me for the rest of the race.
Wu looks like he's dropping off a bit here. That last lap was 06 at 3,400.
Yeah.
09 here. Yeah, he's hurting. But I love that he went for it. You know, he got the home ice. You gotta lay it out there sometimes.
Oh yeah. Can't knock an athlete for going for it. Sometimes people do it in a not the most intelligent manner, but you can't knock them for the effort.
Woo's hanging on though. '07 here. We
He
got a
is.
question in the chat. If the mixed relay event existed over the last decade, what would be your dream team? I think Mantia and Bo could have been a dominant combo. Absolutely. Joey for sure would have been crazy good at it. No stand start, which is, maybe a weak part of his race. And it's interval based, and he's good at top speed and in a pack. So Joey would have been a killer at the mixed gender for sure. Brittany, I'm not so sure. On long track, I know she's a great inline racer, but on long track, she tends to be a little bit more hesitant. Sets up corners a little longer. I'm not sure if she would have enjoyed the contact. Yeah, so I don't know if I would have had Britt as my next person for a mixed relay. Somebody a little bit more scrappy. Like I do think Eveny's a great person for it. Would be really interested to see how Schouten can do in a race like that.
Yeah, the start would be a weak point.
Yep, for
All
sure.
right. Wu coming through in a 6:23.90.
Pretty solid race too
Yeah,
for Wu.
with a 6:26.17.
How does that stack up for him? That 6:21 is Wu's PB, so 6:23
Yeah,
today is not too shabby in a solo pair.
yeah, I would say a very good race from him.
Yeah, as he started to fade too, he brought it back and stayed alive there.
All right. In this second pair, we have Chris Huizinga on the inner. Athlete that we highlighted last week for having or for doing what seemingly is the future of these distance races. Two arms on the back the entire way. My guess is he gets through this first turn, both arms are going to go up for the rest of the race. And then I got the first name, Mitch, if you can take the last name.
Ulekliev?
Yeah, Christian.
Christian Ulekliev.
Huizinga, 6:16.33 PR. Ulekliev with a 6:18.61. Huizinga is from Tialf. Ulekliev is Tialf as well. So this should be a good pairing.
Oh, their PB is from there. Got it.
Yep.
Yeah, he had a good 5K last weekend. Christian did second in B group. Wu was actually third in that same B group.
Mm-hmm. Ulekliev finished 12th in the men's B group 1500. Yeah, let's see if he can maybe get under the 6:22 that he skated last week. Huizinga as well, 6:24.9 last week. He is out to an early lead here. 9-1 lap. I mean, he's 1.6 in front of
That coffee.
Wu,
Too
and
close to the
Wu
mic.
took his race out quick.
Coming through hot.
Oh, yeah. Hot, hot, hot. All right, at 1400, 9.5.
Solid there. And he's
Yeah,
going
in
with the
these
no arms.
early
Love it.
yeah, in these early laps, the no arms looks really nice.
We were watching him last weekend, right? And he started to get just a little bit too tilty towards the end. Left hip dropping more and more and more.
Hmm.
But he's carrying speed really well, and I like that he's putting it out there in World Cup races, not just practice. 9.8 there.
982 for Huizinga. 30.8 for Christian.
Yeah, that's going to be a bit off the pace that he set last weekend. Let's see if
Yeah.
it's just some early, easy speed.
We aren't getting any footage of him, but you'll likely have. I think skate's pretty nice. Nice lap for Huizinga. 29.6.
Oh no, what did I just do? That's not good.
Coming through at 2600 for Huizinga. 9.9. 2.4 seconds in front of Wu.
9.9. Oh, 1-0 for Ulekliev. Gotta think that he might have gotten a little bit of the bug too, because he set pretty nice time last weekend.
Yeah, and he's well off of that. Huizinga first lap above 30.00, 30.01. You think the coach has got a 9.9 on the backstretch?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
If need be, I don't know if he's hurting that bad in the race just yet, but
Hey, man, a speck of dust could have freaking caused that wire to be
yeah.
triggered 2/100ths earlier. 0-2 for Huizinga, 4 to go.
Let's see if he can build it back here. This is where I feel like it would be beneficial to maybe on the exits drop an arm, get a little bit more momentum coming out.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I like in
Entries
theory,
for sure too.
I like the two arms up idea, but right around here where you see, you know, just a little bit more movement in his turns, I say drop that arm,
Yeah, right here.
get counterbalance those movements a little bit, and yeah,
Yeah,
just makes sense to me to kind of, try to keep your skating a little bit more solid because he clearly has energy, but
but when it's
his
just the legs you're relying on, give yourself a little bit of that extra momentum with the arm, just on maybe one or two strokes. I know you want to
yeah,
stay as
I
aero
mean,
as
like my
possible,
thought, like, I mean, you're essentially just asking your core to do so much work.
but yeah,
Like, use that arm to counterbalance your movements a little bit. I mean, that being said, he's going to go into the lead here, barring a fall.
how would you put that out in the air like that?
31.6 going into the last lap, 3 laps ahead of Wu. It's like he's not going to break the 6:20 mark. He was close to on pace for it.
And what was he last weekend?
6:22 or 6:24. So he'll be quicker than that.
Okay, so interesting to see.
6:22.02. What was that?
So it'll be interesting to see then going forward if these times stay faster than last weekend.
Yep.
You likely have not going to be where he was last weekend.
No. If I was a betting man, he will be back down in B group at the at his home World Cup.
think a lot of these guys probably want to be in B group at the home World Cup for 10K purposes. Get a little extra wind going for that 25 lapper.
Yeah, very true. Very true. All right. Here's a pair that we want to see something from. Casey Dawson on the inner.
Hold on, Steven. We got
What?
something for you.
What's that?
The two-hand.
Hello, Kimmy.
Nice start, man.
How you doing? Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing good. Just
Good.
on the bike cooling down.
Nice. Nice.
Can you try turning the
How
phone
you doing in the
sideways
middle of
and
the
see
night?
what that does?
Well, you know,
Oh, yeah.
the,
There we
Oli-
go.
Olivia
It's better.
fell asleep eventually, but I kept her up, which I felt bad about. I then also spilled coffee on her computer, which I'm currently using, which I also
Just
felt
from
bad.
from the excitement or from the tiredness?
Just excitement. Pure joy.
I think it's mostly excitement. um, but yeah, we've since those two little hiccups, it's been smooth sailing. That being said, to
Still
be
early.
up, to already be up for 2 hours at 4:31 a.m. Not what I was hoping for.
Steven, what do you think? Do I stay up for time trials?
Yes.
Oh, man. That's a toughie. Warm up.
Because there's still 2 hours of racing here. It'll be done in 5 your time?
Yeah, it says 5:01 is the women's mass start, so call it 5:15.
5:30.
5:20, yeah, 5:30 to sleep.
All right.
Get up at. I think I could still snag 2 hours of sleep. So
Hello, nappers.
5:30 I can get an hour in, and I need to be at the rink at 8:15. So, but yeah, Kimmy, how did that race feel? Any thoughts? Any comments?
Better than yesterday. I got a little too long in the entrances and I was tired yesterday. So I think my only focus was to not do that. It's the drop for me was better than it normally is from 1 to 2 or than it has been lately.
Okay.
So happy with it for the most part.
Good. What are your thoughts on the ice in Beijing? Do you like it? Dislike it?
Yeah, I like it. I kind of expected us all to go faster yesterday. And then the guys today, sans the first two positions. Because it feels faster than Japan.
Yep.
But the 500s were faster in Japan, at least for the girls. So we'll see what tomorrow's like. But the ice feels good.
All right. Good.
Yeah.
So we were wondering, did you shave any bit off the front of your blade prior to this weekend, or
yeah, just 0.01's worth.
do we just need to work on the kick out a little bit more? What exactly is the?
Well, the kick out we know is not my best. I usually kick out after the line.
Right.
But I think maybe we'll switch to 16.5 when I get home.
There, yeah. That's
Okay.
really a good
There we
call.
go. There's those hundreds.
Yeah.
All right. Really quick, not to take away from the star of the show, but Dawson's last split was under 30.0.
Oh shit, Casey.
30.0 here at 2,400.
I had lunch with him today, and he said he was feeling really good.
Okay.
Good.
Casey's not one of the ones that got sick.
Not yet. Knock on wood.
Don't put that in here. That's good.
Spreading like wildfire.
But hey, great
But
to see
as
that
of this morning, he was healthy.
he's executing this race well. He's reeling spears back in here. See, now this is the one where we need Mark, because oh my goodness.
I'm watching
29.99 lap.
There it is.
in the warm-up room.
Yeah.
Getting ready over there.
Dawson's got a carrot to chase here. So that's really good for him. Him being somebody that builds into his 5Ks. There you go. 30.01 again. Seemingly utilizing a bit of a draft or chase here as he moves on to the outer lane.
Oh, are we getting an inside scoop at the bike room there?
Yeah, Diodo's over there working up a
there's
sweat.
Pete Mueller, gold medalist.
Casey, 30.07.
He's cooking. He's bringing him back. Yeah, I
slowly
like the new,
pulling in his pair.
I like the new way that Casey's attacking these races, building into it instead of gunsling in the beginning.
Yeah.
How many laps does he have left?
He's coming up to 4 to go.
2.
Or, yeah, no, I'm sorry, 2 to go. I don't know what I'm saying.
Okay, so you guys are a few laps behind here.
Oh, yes. Did he already finish?
He's on his last backstretch.
Oh, okay. We're 1 lap behind then. But Casey looking strong. He's looking at right around that 620 mark.
Yep, he's moving into the lead here, coming up to the bell. Yeah.
Gonna go OTT.
30.23.
That's over.
He's gonna, OTT his pair here on the last backstretch.
Okay.
But yeah, really, I'm not sure how him and Gabe have modeled this season, but I like where Casey's at. He's showing a lot of fitness, a lot of maturity in his races. Hopefully this is an indicator of a big 10K in 2 weeks. He moves into second, 6:22:29. Let's see what he went last week.
Yeah, it seems like that 10K is going to be set up well. Kimberly, somebody asked in our chat, you don't still have the medal around your neck?
No, they put it in a nice little box for you.
Okay. See, I'd keep it around my neck personally.
Snazzy.
Did you go up to Yuta afterwards and say, "Oops"?
I did not. I said, "Congratulations."
Oh, yeah, she seemed a little bummed on that one. But
yeah,
fun to see the battle between the 3 of you is awfully close right now.
Mm-hmm. Shaking up the order.
Yep.
Because Miho was silver last week and I was 3rd, right? I got 3rd.
Yep. Just a little shuffling.
Kimmy, going back to yesterday, how was it doubling up on the 15 and 500 and specifically in that?
First time for me. So it was a little intimidating, but it also didn't give me time to wallow after the 15 in pain, which I normally do.
Yep.
So it was I had to get my shit together a little bit. So by the time I got to the locker room and took my suit off, Brittany's how much time do you have? And I was looked at my schedule and I was okay, 19 minutes till my skates go back on. So, but when I was actually skating the 500, I did not feel as fatigued as I expected to.
Okay.
But I think that goes to the days when we do the index in the early session, get off for the Zamboni and get back on for intervals where I'm trying to chase Mitch and the other dudes. So
yep.
I think that I've done things to prepare me physically for it. And it was just the mental part that was a little scary yesterday.
Yep. What is, so those 19 minutes, are you spinning? Are you tossing your legs up and just hoping you stay warm? What's the
Fikre shook me out. I didn't know, because I've never done it before. I didn't know, I was I'll decide in the moment what I need.
Yep.
And I felt fairly warm still. So Fikre just shook me out. I did 6 minutes on the bike and then I went up and put my skates on. So I just like kept moving, but nothing like taxing.
Okay. All right.
I don't know, like maybe I'll try something different if that's the setup in Stavanger or Poland and just see kind of what works best. But I think it's just going to be a learning thing.
Okay. Awesome.
All right. All part
we
of the
got
plan.
our Team USA men's sprint team.
How they looking?
Back.
Hey,
Great. Zach's going to do lap 3. Koopy's going to do lap 2. Austin's got lap 1.
Austin's got lap 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see how they do. I think maybe not in Connor's current state, but I would have had him as a pretty strong last lap skater.
Yeah, I think he, for the next one, he wants to do the 3rd lap for sure.
Let's see here. But Zach's skating really well.
Yeah, Ingebrigtsen staying under 30 here in the 5K.
Let's see. Gert was our B group podium winner. Gert Weirda.
He's Dutch.
Yes, he is. And Marwan Talsma was also on the podium.
The Dutch is such a beautiful language.
Yep. Steven, I would love to see you pronounce the guy from China that got 2nd in B group today.
All right. Let me add him. Where are we at? All right, we got.
Okay, gentlemen. Well, I'm gonna sign out here, but thanks for having me.
Oh, of course. Thank you for.
Had to wear the goods.
Yeah, we saw that. Way to rep it on the podium there.
You're welcome.
All right.
So long.
See you next time.
Bye, Kimmy.
Bye.
All right. So, not to be offensive here, folks, but we had Hanahati Muhammadi.
Beautiful. That was close.
I'm trying to use like English rules. Hanahati Muhammadi. Yeah, Muhammadi. We're going with it. Very Muslim name there.
It is.
All right. So
That's
currently,
right, we're gonna keep them coming. We're gonna have new guests, all these comps. I think it's Stavanger. We're gonna try to set up a little spot up in the cafe and see if we can just keep having a nice rotation of skaters throughout. Should be pretty fun.
Awesome. Yeah, that will be fun. Ingebrigtsen keeping the lap times under 30 here. He is coming up to 3 to go. On one for a really nice race. His pair, Henriksen, I believe, won B group last week and is, I believe, in his last year at juniors. Still 19 years old and is the junior world record holder in this event. This is just crazy to say, 6'13" at the age of 18.
Yeah, that's bonkers. There's no other way to say it. That's pretty incredible race. He's got a big career ahead of him. Young buck to be that good that early is wild. Allgear's on a pretty good one again.
Yes, coming up to the bell here. Let's see what this lap is at the bell. But yeah, he seemingly is on a really nice race.
Danny Stoltz did not have the 5K record. Prior to Sigurd, I actually think it was Havard Boko's 5K junior world record, right?
So Baco had it for a while. Like I remember Emery was bidding for that. He came really close. I want to say a Korean might have gotten it in that time. Um, yep, Ingebrigtsen with a really nice race, 6:18.94, first athlete to go under 6:20. Sigurd with a 6:26.01, a little bit off of his time from last week, but yeah, Hauger and Ingebrigtsen moves into the lead, and seemingly that's probably going to be the race that everyone's looking at. But yeah, I'm not totally sure if there's a way to look up the history of the junior world record in the 5K, but
Working on it now. But
I know Baco had it for a while at like a 6:18 something.
I think it was still him until Sigurd got it.
Okay.
But I am going to double check.
Yeah, because Marwin Talisma, I remember, made a go for it. Didn't get it at a oval finale one year. Emery obviously was going for it. Some of those young Koreans were making a go for it.
We've got a nice list here, thanks to speedskatingresults.com. Here's your last junior world records in the 5,000. Sven set it at 6:28. Then he beat it again and again and again. And then Baco 6:18.9. That was 2005. 2005, and it held up until Sigurd went 6:17, and then he broke it again and went 6:13.8.
Wow.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Bart swings on wings.
Yes, Sphinx on wings. Yeah. So yeah, to highlight swings again, watching his 5K last week, I thought he had a really nice race. He did get overtaken by Sver, who was coming up in our next pair at the end of the race, but had a really solid one. And yeah, I just like to see that he's clearly still working on technical aspects of his skating. Even with all the time on inlines, when he gets on ice, he's clearly has focus points. And I think those straightaways are looking better than they have in the past. He was usually pretty bow-legged, pretty wide, didn't have as clean a lines of pressure, and yeah, just seems to be using his using a little bit more easy pressure and early speed in his push, which is nice.
Yeah, it seemed like he has been working on some more extension this year in the straights. Sometimes it's just a little bit short, doesn't get as much out of it. They're still a little bit quick on that recovery. I know from inlines he's used to pulling it back quickly. But it seems like that's been a focus of sorts this year, so he's obviously a fun one to watch across the board any race.
Yeah, he was an athlete that I highlighted to one of my athletes, Sam Chamberlain, and he also bow-legged, like you, like Bart, and seemingly is more of a distance athlete. And I highlighted Bart because you can see how bow-legged he is. And then I was super pleased to see that, like, oh, Bart, while still bow-legged, is working on those lines more here versus here if these are his legs. And
being bow-legged or being knock-kneed, either way is totally fine. You just got to go with it and still work on the pieces that get you a full push. You know, knock-kneed can break in and you lose the push early, and bow-legged you just don't get a full push out of as either if it's too wide. But for him, it seems more timing based too. Like if he's staying on those pushes nicely, he can really drive himself across. You love his corner exits here too.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to throw himself up the track a little bit.
Bart right on the pace of Ingebrigtsen. Just skated a 30.1. He's going to need to keep those lap times right around the high 29, low 30 mark to stay within striking distance. Seemingly is starting to form a little bit of a gap on Ichinoue.
He still might get one last draft here. It's going to be hard to tell as long as Ichinoue is still. Yep, he should get one more.
Oh, no. Ichinoue lets him go.
He let him go. Oh, that was a tough call.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted a repeat of yesterday's 1500.
Man, that's a heartbreaker. But we've seen people come back from stuff like that, so don't count them out yet. Still a couple minutes left in the race. Bart sitting right at a 6:20 pace, just under. Ooh, nice little tempo build coming out there. I like that.
All right, Bart coming up to 3 to go. Has about a 20-meter gap on his pair. 30.2, about 1 second off the pace of Ingebrigtsen. Let's just see if Bart can get under 6:20. Should be doable.
Definitely possible there. If he can keep it together those last 2 laps, he's going to have a better race overall than he did last weekend.
Mm-hmm. All right, Bart needs to skate another 30.5 to stay under 6:20. Does he do it?
He needs 2 more.
Oh, is it 2 more? Oh, I'm freaking. It's early, folks.
Yeah, he needs a couple O2s here to keep it. Come on, Mr. Swings. Keep it together, buddy.
Getting a little short in the straightaways. Oh, doesn't look like he's going to do it. He's going to need to skate a 29.9 or a 29.8, actually.
You can get it done.
Yeah. Here we go, Bart. Here we go. All the way. Finishing strong, 6:21.22, moving into second place.
Wow, almost the same time as he did last weekend. Less than a 10th difference. He's locked in.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, Casey's right in there in the pack.
He's 4th right now, though, so I'm thinking that the top 6 is pretty unlikely. But still a good race out of Casey for sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not saying the top 6 is seemingly the most likely right now, but he's in a good spot. In a good spot to overtake some of these guys. I mean, 1.1 second improvement, and he's in second overall. So
yeah, it was our first big pair of the day. I think.
Yep.
Sverre Lunde Pedersen,
Patrick Roast.
Pair of impressive PBs here, 6:07 for Pedersen.
Also a pair of multi-time junior world champions. Sverre was the winner at my first Junior Worlds. Patrick was the winner at my last Junior Worlds. Emery Lehman won in between these two. Yeah, both world champs, both have Olympic medals, both have given the 5K world record their best go. Neither successfully, but yeah, we have one of the successful bids in our next pair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is our first big pair. Look to see Patrick skate the time to beat. Patrick's another one. No, we say it kind of jokingly in the U.S., but I do think it's somewhat true. They might not teach the technical aspects of skating quite as much in the Netherlands, but I mean, he has done a lot to even out his straightaways, especially. Does a much better job now of getting over his left skate on his set down. Just having like cleaner, stronger lines of pressure.
Yeah, just staying straighter overall.
Yeah.
Was a little bit more tilty before, and that stroke after stroke over the course of a 5 or 10K, that's just a little bit of speed loss that you don't want.
Mm-hmm. It's speed loss that it seemingly isn't. I mean, when you get that speed back, it isn't taxing from an energy system perspective. It's just purely technical gains that you're receiving.
Yeah, just overall time.
Yeah. Patrick with another 9.5.
And sometimes it is a little bit more tiring too. You know, you think you should be at a certain time, so you're overdoing it a little bit. So just when those lap times come easier, sure feels nice. Roast ticking off some good lap times so far.
Fair's keeping him in sight though.
How would you guys pronounce rooster?
Rooster? What?
Rooster. Like the male chicken. Mark.
Yeah, rooster. You said it.
Is that how you are supposed to say Patrick Roost? Patrick Rooster? And take away the ER on the end. I think it's Patrick Roost.
Yeah. So it's not like the meat dish that you put in the oven, Mark. It's not a roast.
It's not a roast.
Okay.
Well, roost is probably easiest for us to say anyway, so.
Oh yeah, no. I mean,
thanks, Marky.
I wouldn't say that either of those are overly difficult to say. It is just learning what ROEST, like how do you pronounce that if you're a Dutch person?
Right.
Like, all right, roast, keeping under roost. Roost. I need to correct myself. Roost, staying under the 29.5 mark. Doing what we expected him to do, putting up a really nice race.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to be the sub 610 that I was potentially hoping for, but we'll see. He's at a 3:45 for his 3K and a 9.3 lap, so that might have been his fastest lap yet.
Yeah, I mean, last week, if I'm remembering correctly, he was negative splitting at the end and had a bunch of energy.
Yeah.
So if he does, like, not absurd to think that he could do that again, pop off a few 29.0s. 9.4.
Okay. Well, he's hanging right in there with good skating.
Yeah. He's right on pace for what I predicted, isn't he?
What'd you say for your time?
I said like a 6.13 high, 6.14 low.
Nice corner exit there.
Yeah.
Took that out far. Coming through at 3,800 meters and 9.2.
9.2.
There it is. Hard to say. I think he's gonna be under the time that you said as of now. See if he's got
Also,
enough
should
time
be
to keep
said, he's
cranking
not
it.
in sight, but Sver is also putting up a nice race right now, staying under 30-0.
No, is where it gets exciting. Can he 9-1? Woo!
That's a good lap. That's a really good lap.
Patrick, I think he wants to. I think he wants to be highlighted on our skating meme after the weekend. That's throwing it down. Only had him listed as, he's still good.
Coming up to the bell, 9-2 for roast.
9-2. Oh, wow.
It's going to be right around 6:11.
Yeah, it could be.
And Sver currently under the pace of Ingebrigtsen. Skated a 9-8.
Could be a
Is
6-10
Sver
out
one?
of Patrick if he can negative split just a little bit more. He does seem like he's pretty strong here.
One or 6:11.4 for roast, ends on a 9-2. Pedersen comes through in second place with a 6:18.5.
Not bad there. Wow. Not bad at all.
Yeah,
6:11.
for both of those guys, really nice races.
What was the
Yeah.
what is the track record here? I didn't see that one.
It's gonna be Niels, 6:08.84.
6:08. I mean, dang, ice obviously not as fast as it was during the games. I think that just shows how on form Patrick is right now. By himself,
Yes.
throwing down a 6:11.
Yeah, and he, we've talked about Jordan and how well Jordan peaks or at least peaked last year for world singles. Patrick doesn't seem to be as much on that end of the spectrum. He
But
kind
good
of
at
seems
it.
to,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, he stays very consistent throughout the year, doesn't have big ups or downs, which unfortunately for him has kind of been a little bit to his detriment.
Right.
But yeah, he got the world single win last year. I think that was his first 5K win. And yeah, shown great form early in the season here. So I know you've read the paper by Niels van der Poel discussing his thoughts on these distance races.
Sure.
And a little, every sport has those benchmark, those milestones that they're trying to break.
Right.
And the men's 5K is approaching one. What do you think the likelihood of somebody breaking 6 minutes in the next, 3 to 4 years is?
Well, I think conditions are such a big part of it. I think had Nils trained in Salt Lake City for a bit longer, I think he would have had it, or had Salt Lake been a world championship at the time when Nils was skating really well. So, that just to say if he was tapered going into the Salt Lake World Cup or World Singles, he, I think, could have gotten it. I think Patrick, same thing. He doesn't skate as well at altitude. Most of the Dutch guys don't because they're from absolute sea level. And so I think if they were to actually do some training camps and target it, then I think that they would adapt and be able to do it. Right now, that is. I think like Patrick, or I should say this season, he could do it. If that was a big goal of his, if he's skating well, and the ice, of course, is at least in the ballpark of, world record capable. Calgary will be interesting to see. Last year, ice was much slower, it seemed like. But they've had a couple really fast races so far. Connor Howe 142 up there. So maybe World Singles this year in Calgary is a good place for it. Calgary's great because it's at altitude. When they get that Chinook wind coming in, it could be crazy fast and a little bit easier to breathe than Salt Lake City. So
Yeah, I was gonna reiterate that point. Calgary, while at altitude, is not as high up as Salt Lake. So seemingly, while it doesn't have the same top end speed potential, the distance athletes sometimes like it a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you said. It seems like a lot of the top distance skaters that we see, they're used to training at sea level. They're used to skating at sea level, so they don't put up as seemingly impressive of times when they get to Salt Lake.
right.
But it seems like a matter of getting that one athlete that's good at altitude, or somebody who just says like, all right, screw it, I don't care about any other race except for World Cup 4 in Salt Lake. I'm just going to try to go for that world record. I'll get there early, acclimate, get used to
Right.
skating those. I mean, it's probably 8.3s, and yeah, just actually prioritizing it.
No.
Yeah, it seems wild to say, but I think that it's a very achievable milestone within the sport. Whereas for a while, like skating under 34.0 seemed just crazy in a 500 meter. The breaking 6 minutes in the 5K seems a little bit more realistic and possible for these top guys.
Yeah, I'd say 500, the clap, after claps came out, the times were hanging around that 34.2, 34.3 area. Casey Fitz won Olympic gold by doing a 34.3. Got a little jump on that one too. And then Witherspoon had the world record. Well, actually, King Sook Lee had the world record at 34.25.
Yep. Paired with former fast team coach Tucker Fredericks.
T. Freds. And then, Witherspoon had it for a bit there too. So, the 500 was kind of stuck after Witherspoon had set the 34.03. He attempted a few times. I think they even, made the ice as good as they possibly could for him, set up the conditions, and he was still crazy fast, 34.0s, but couldn't crack it. And now we really jumped to that 33.6. So
yeah, and that's another thing that's worth mentioning is while you don't see the results talked about a lot, Jeremy Witherspoon skated under 34.10 multiple times.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
I want to say 3 or 4 times.
And at the time, he was the only person under
Even
34.2.
close to that.
Under 34.20 was just Witherspoon.
Yeah.
Insane. But Ted is one of those skaters, speaking of, that trains in Calgary, so altitude is more feasible for him, and you've seen that in the past with him and Graham Fish both setting 10K world records at altitude. So
Ted also 5K world record holder at one time. So has the second fastest 5K ever.
pretty strong race out of Ted again.
Yeah, coming up to the finish. He's in second here. Who's ahead of Sphere, 6:16.89. Seems pleased with that race.
37 years old, Ted.
Super fired up last week after his 5K. Yeah, I mean, it's fun to see Ted, 37 years old. I remember watching videos of him racing against Jonathan Cook. I I mean, 2010 and competing against him in world all around. So he's, I mean, give you an idea, he was racing for the Netherlands back then. And now he's representing Canada and skating a 6:16 in Beijing at 37 years old.
Yeah.
Father. And from what I've heard has changed up, from what we both heard, has changed up his training regimen, just training once a day and seemingly trying to work through that sort of a format.
It can be done. It can be done.
Yeah. I know Joey has talked about, I remember just having a conversation with Joey about, if you were to write a training program for, at the time we were both on the national sprint team. If you were to write the program for the national sprint team, like, what would you do? And that was one of his things was, in the summer, I'd like to just train once a day for periods of time. His thought being that if you're always training twice a day, I think the thought was like you can only increase your workload so much if you're always adding those 2 workouts.
Yeah, that's a tough one though, because once you get into the season as a sprinter, you really want to go the opposite way. So you want to put that work in earlier.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody knows the more work you have in your body at that time, it's just going to be harder to actually sprint. But yeah, for some people, I could see it the other way around, and I think maybe more on the distance side, which sounds nuts, but I could see more the 1 workout a day early summer, just putting in big miles in one session, and then resting up, and then maybe you can have more days versus more workouts in a day.
Yeah. And, it was a brief conversation, and I'm probably not doing Joey's thoughts any justice, but I mean, it wasn't, you only train once a day all season. I think he had a vision of how he would program it in, but yeah, an interesting thought that he had. Just kind of move maybe 2 a days for a training block, 1 a day for a training block, and kind of alternate. I do like the thought, seemingly focusing on, we're going to put in 1 really high quality workout today. All your focus is on this. You don't have to think about showing up to the rink later today and getting ready for another one. It's just 1 and done. Our last pair is going here, Sander and Giotto.
I like this, working together a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe they can tag team and bring down the rooster.
Yeah, both of them are ahead of the time to beat, which was also true last week. Remember, Giotto went out real quick. Yeah, Giotto's about a second up right now.
Going out pretty quick again, 9-1. But Sander staying in the ballpark. Really like how Sander skates as well. Okie.
Got a nice draft there.
Welcome.
Who's here?
Okie.
Okay, how we doing?
Okie's a character. You coming in from? You can't be in Calgary. Way too.
Ooh, Sander with a 29-0.
Woo.
So these guys are moving, and Giotto's about to have a quick lap as well. He just got a really nice chase.
I should mention that Vic's pick today is Sander.
Oh. 9-1 from Giotto, 9-4 from Sander. They're both over a second in the lead of Roast. Yeah, also worth noting, Sander is doing this despite having his training facility flood over the summer. I don't know if you have any extra info on that whole situation, Mitch, but
pretty nuts that
Yeah.
flooded, and they purposely flooded it to deal with flooding.
Okay.
They flooded the inside of the rink to deal with flooding outside, so the building wouldn't collapse, is what we were told.
Oh, so it was like a counter pressure sort of deal?
Correct.
Huh. That's fascinating.
Would never have thought that was a thing, but crazy. So, anyways, they saved the rink. And we will have the World Cup in Stavanger this year.
Yeah, I've skated in Hamar, and it's just like, yeah, it's right next to water, but to think about that thing being underwater is just wild.
Was it Hamar that was flooded? Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. But Giotto coming up to 3 to go. Both these guys coming up to 3 to go.
Thanks, Oki.
0.75 in the lead still. Looks like Roast might get him here in these last couple of laps. He stayed in the low nines. But yeah, Giotto's putting up a really good fight right now. Over the top Sander on that lap.
Nah, I don't think Giotto's going to get it done. I think he's going to fade just a little bit more than Patrick did. Patrick's just finished so strong those last 3 laps.
Yeah. 0-1 isn't going to do it. He's about to lose about a second in this next lap.
I like that Sander went for it, but he looks like he's going to be hurt in these last 2.
Oh, also another thing that I think I might have shouted out yesterday, but I'm going to shout it out again. Giotto, from my understanding, if he grew up skating in Italy, not inlining, which I think would be the other option to consider, grew up skating outdoors and is a fantastic outdoor skater. I've seen him put up some very impressive times in like truly awful conditions. I think he skated he skates a 6:14.25 for second place today. Rye Guy getting all the high fives in today.
Yeah, Rye Guy's still around that middle.
Yeah.
I suppose he's out there.
But yeah, I watched Giotto skate a really nice 10K in Baselga in a 10K. Snowstorm.
Oof.
And then that next year he skated a really nice 5K in Madeo in what can only be described as a blizzard. Wow. And chatting with Olympic gold medalist Nerko Fabris about him. He said the worse the conditions, the more he likes it. He just likes working. He enjoys slow ice. He enjoys having to just keep his turnover up. He doesn't like gliding, which is funny because he glides really well. But yeah,
these 2 guys seem to be happy about the race.
Yeah.
They're a little delusional after putting out that kind of effort.
Yeah.
5,000 meter. At the end of it, yeah, good stuff there. Casey finished in 10th, 6:22.2. Yeah, the only one that was a bit off overall was Ulekliev, but definitely seemed sick of some sort. Just a little break, and then we've got the team sprint men.
Yeah, Casey finishing in 6th with a 6:22.2, but 4 seconds off of 4th, or 4 seconds off of 5th. So he's right there in the mix. Yeah, he can just improve a little bit lap to lap on the rest of the field. He's right in there for a top 5 finish. All right, I will be right back.
Okay, 5 Norwegians in the A group. Wow, that's something. Yeah, it's were pulling all sorts of stuff during the games, trying to say that I think Nils was trying to stir the pot, saying that the ice temps were changing throughout the day and that the Beijing ice makers had something to do with it. I don't think that was the case today. Up next, team sprint men. Who we got on the start list? A lot of teams. 11 squads coming out. Wow. Little Zam break. So what do you guys think? You think the stash plays? This is a good move? They need to add some entertainment back to the infield, or maybe play some trivia or something for the spectators. It gives of America. It looks like I own a truck, Mark. Hey, Ricky Bobby. You ain't first, you're last. New for you. Suppose I can change the title here to Men's Team Sprint. Danny, if you want some cool emojis like this, you can join our membership channel. Very Texan. Full handlebar. I think I might get rid of the little side chops there at some point, but you gotta start long. It's hard to grow back so quick. That emoji is actually from Vic in the mass start. We can only make 4 emojis off the bat. Once we have, I think we need like 4 people as members, then we can make a few more. And then I can make them move too. It's pretty fun. Here's another one. Oh, yeah, Mark. I can deliver. Back here live from Calgary's own Smith Built.
Okay, I'm back, folks. I'm back. Don't worry. I'm doing great. Feeling energized. Feeling good. Who am I? Oh, is it Burt Reynolds? Is that who I'm thinking of for the mustache, Mitch?
I'm thinking so.
Yeah.
I hope
But
so.
right when I saw it, I had the. Yep, Burt Reynolds. I saw that and I instantly Burt Reynolds popped into my head. R.I.P. to the man from Lansing, Michigan.
Love it.
Mark, what am I not paying attention well enough to?
I think you say in the hat. Oh, Steven, you're muted.
Muted.
There you go.
I'm back now?
Yep.
All right. Ooh, Danny. Big words there.
I'll keep growing it too. This is child's play. Giotto with that little podium. Very nice. Okay, let me grab a water and I'll be right back.
All right, we're watching the men's 5K podium right now. Roast, Itram, and Giotto. Roost, Giotto, and Itram. Same podium as last weekend in Obihiro. Should be said as well, while I correctly picked the podium, my prediction of that gap narrowing between these three athletes was incorrect. Roast with a larger gap from first to second, and Giotto with a larger gap from second to third.
Yeah, I only thought that could happen after seeing Patrick's 1500, like we were saying earlier. That was a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I would say obviously more races to come, but he seemingly is the performer of the weekend. Silver in the 15 with just an incredible last lap, 7-3 last lap, made up 2 seconds, I want to say, on Kjeld, and gold here in the 5K. Good little weekend for him. Mitch, an event that you have a World Cup gold in, the team sprint.
Yeah, we got a couple dubs in the team sprint. Fun race. Not sure if it looks as impressive on TV. Another one where I would rather see a couple different things. What? Oh, you're muted, Steven.
How the heck?
Another race.
Am I muted right now?
No. Where are you?
I did nothing. I didn't change anything.
I don't know. Yeah, another race where I would like to see the flying lap be introduced instead. I just think that might give a better look. But the team sprint is really fun to do, and I would also like to see if they could change up the team sprint to more of just anything goes. Essentially, you just have to get one guy across the line. It's not a particular order of leaders. It doesn't seem to make sense that you why put the constraint on the skaters to have to pull off at a certain point. Why not just go as fast as you can for 3 laps, especially now we've got the protective equipment. I think that would open it up to a lot more strategy and different strategies, would be really cool to watch versus just go straight as fast as you can. I think those would be my 2 main points for team sprint.
Yeah. I like both of those points. So team sprint, the appeal as a fan of skating is this is the event with the fastest lap.
Right.
We see the highest speeds in this event. But yeah, I'm with you. Having that restraint of each athlete must lead their given lap, having the specific exchange area. I just think about what could the U.S. women's team sprint team do if, Mackenzie or Erin only have to lead half a lap? Like if Erin could just do an opener, what would happen then? Same thing if you could, I'm getting creative, but you could have tactics that go as far as you have one person not lead at any point in the race. They just push somebody.
Oh, absolutely. I would more think that you'd have one person lead out, and it may just be pushing is the way to go. You've got the person in front, and the other 2 just push as hard as they possibly can, and then at a certain point, you essentially just give a relay push. Or you have one person lead out from the front, person in second is just sitting, and the lead out person leads, a lap and a half or 2 laps as hard as they possibly can, and then pull off, and the person, or maybe even give the arm pull, if it makes sense at that point, and the person in third is just pushing forward. So you take a TP and then almost like a TP into a flying lap on the third. I think that would give a lot more different elements instead of this part where you have to wait for the teammate. You've got to pull off at a certain time. And the one race that I always bring up is Vincent from Canada. He actually finished on the podium after he skated the last lap and a half because his teammate fell on the second lap. He skated the last lap and a half by himself, and he still hits the podium, but he's DQ'd because that's an early exchange. But why would you?
Yeah, you're
DQing
him. You're DQing him, and he had to do more work.
Yep.
Like his team was disadvantaged, and they still get DQ'd. It's a little silly.
The team pursuit, I do like how you've got to have 3 guys all together, and your third time counts. I think that's nice. I think the mixed gender relay, if they wanted a mixed event, they could have done like a mixed TP or something as well. And it's only the woman's time counts. Could have been a little bit something on there.
Yeah. Personally, I think a mixed TP is not a good event idea, personally.
Okay, fair.
I think that would quickly turn into what team has the men that are best at pushing for however many laps they would choose for it to be.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, maybe that'd be a great thing.
Totally
and
could.
Emery would get another event to highlight his TP skills, but yeah, I personally am of the opinion that a mixed TP would not be good.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I agree with you. Like it makes sense that all three athletes have to cross the line together in the or that the third person crossing the line is the finish time in the TP. But in this team sprint where the objective seemingly is how would I say it, more of like it's showcasing the top end speed of the sport. Yeah, they still leave it open ended. The fact that the U.S. could adjust how they do this race in terms of, one leader,
Right.
having that open ended where there isn't any set rule that each person on the team must take a lead. It allowed that format to happen. It allowed the event to get faster. And
Right.
I think doing the same thing for this team sprint would be good. A little interesting thing here. David LaRue, who is skating the 1500 meter for Canada, is going to be doing their opener here in front of Laurent, who just medaled in the 500 meter.
I like it. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think people have strategized incorrectly in these a lot of times. Like you mentioned, us winning the one World Cup in Heronveen, we won in a couple different ways, but I went third and primarily a 500 skater, but I think it helps to be able to follow more easily. If the Canadian team, whoever's in third right now, has already dropped off the back, so had they put Laurent in front, it would have only been more ridiculous. And for him, the start is not nearly as taxing, so he should be able to change gears and actually re-accelerate for the person behind right at this point in the race. It's actually Vince that's going third, but it seems like he's not hanging on to Laurent's speed at the moment, and Laurent does not look like he's fully gassing it here.
They're not going to be able to do the old patented U.S. Messed up short track exchange there to give him some extra speed.
No, not looking like it. But Vince is pretty strong, so
yeah,
he saved enough energy. But yeah, it's a fun race that you need to have enough speed to sprint early. But I still contest that the most important part of this race is how much speed you deliver for the person coming out, especially for the final exchange. How much speed can you give to that person, because it's a exponentially further or longer way for that guy.
Yeah. The more, to reiterate what Mitch is saying, it's more important to have that third skater starting their solo effort with a higher speed.
Canada, time and again, on the men's side especially, they would have Gil Junio start out and he'd open 16-2 and just drop his team like a bad habit. And it didn't work at the time the way that they wanted it to. And so it seems that we had Kamani was our lead out person for a couple of those, and we were generally in like 7th or 8th at the 200, but Kamani was decent at getting up to a top speed, so by the end of that lap we're getting closer, and then let Johnny do his thing for a lap as well.
Yep. All right. We have Canada is currently our leader, 122.43. Kazakhstan in second. We have Germany and Korea here in this Would this be called a pairing?
Yep. Yep, that's a pair.
Okay. All right.
How's that coffee treating you?
It's good. I'm starting to wonder if I should stop drinking it so I can more easily fall asleep after these events.
Attempt to get some sleep here. Is
It'll,
this Junho out front? It looks like it was. Dombeck should be an interesting one in the German team. Skated a great 1500 yesterday.
yes. He's an athlete to highlight from these first two World Cups. Really having a breakout season so far.
Yeah.
2 PRs and 2 1500s, moved from B group up to fourth place in A group.
Here's a prime example. The Koreans were moving on the first half a lap, even the first full lap, but their last split really fell off the wagon. Someone we have not seen yet, and maybe they're not allowing him to, but Min Suk Kim. Haven't seen him race any 1500s, and he's one of the top guys in the world.
Yeah,
Hopefully he makes an appearance in Europe. Nice little view of the Korean squad.
All right.
German team coming around a little bit. Good to see.
Yep, they move into the lead, 121-23. Norway and China in this next pairing. China is a team that has acted out your statements very well in this event. They utilize Ning as well as I feel like they possibly could in this event. They just set him up to have the fastest last lap that they possibly can.
Is that him in third? Yes, it is. Okay.
Yes.
This could be a really good Chinese squad. They're skating well at home. All three guys had nice 500s. Two guys had nice 500s, and Ning not skating too shabby in 1500.
Yeah. Third place. People have had worse results.
Here you go, Lorentzen going third here for Team Norway.
Yep.
Another one where it doesn't, he's not going to get too tired from the start while in the draft.
Mm-hmm. How would you feel doing a down start in the middle of a pack like that?
Well, I think I'd be fine, but also it could go wrong.
Yes.
It could definitely go awry. Chinese team looking, they were pretty in sync for a second. Oh!
It's a little squirrely there going into the second turn.
Puts the hand down. That was a potentially early exchange from China. We'll see what they say.
Norway in the lead.
Well, but Lorentzen looks super relaxed there. I think he's going to have a strong last lap.
Yeah, Lorentzen.
Really good job. See, right there. Even if Lorentzen feels like he's strong and if Bjorn feels like he's tired, I think hanging on to the front just a little bit longer is a smart move.
Mm-hmm.
Because an extra 400 meters is a heck of a lot further than you think. Versus an extra 30 for the person in front.
Yeah.
Ning with a strong lap.
Yep.
Moves into first.
Yeah, doing exactly what I said before the race. China's uh, just does a great job of setting Ning up to have a really nice last lap.
Yeah.
Um, he's obviously super strong. We see it in the 1500, but has the top speed to stay with that group and not gas himself out in those first two laps. And yeah, he looked really good there.
Yeah, even with the
120.
little stumble from China at the beginning of that race.
Yep. But as well, a little stumble not costing them in their final time, showing that it's more about how well you maintain your speed than just purely putting up a good first 400 or first 600. All right. Poland, who, if I'm remembering correctly, they won this event last season at the second Calgary World Cup. So they've got some ability in this event.
Yeah, they've got a good squad for it. I think all three positions they've got somebody that can skate pretty fast. For sure, these first two, Zurich had a little bit slower opening on the 500 today, but he set a 1500 PB just a month ago, 147 in Insel, so they could have a really nice squad. Bosa going second here. Let's see if Betty can get him out to fast enough at the beginning. Surprised they're not using Di Stefano. I thought he was skating pretty well. But maybe Trentini's doing well too.
All right, we're off. Polish team doing a pretty good job of staying together.
Oh, yep. Both Trentini and Di Stefano are in A group 1500. So both teams here should have a good finish.
Poland, I would say, as we expected, out to an early lead, 0.84 ahead of the pace set by China.
Oh, I like that skating from Bosa. That looked pretty nice. Coming around pretty good here. This should be a decent half lap split. Let's see if he hangs on the front just a little longer. Again, I think I would have stayed directly in front for just a hair more. Yeah, Bosa had a good second half lap.
Damien here coming up to 200 to go. 0.39 in front of China. I have a feeling Ning's going to pass him here.
Yeah, Ning's last half lap was sub 13 or right at 13.00.
Yep. Ning makes up 0.6 in that last 200. Wow.
Cooking.
Yeah.
We got one more team sprint. And then we've got the women's mass start after that.
All right.
Oh, wow, that women's mass start, by the way, is about to be wild. They've got 24 skaters in just one final.
Good. That's how it should be.
That's gonna be special. Yeah. Okay, good one here. I think the Dutch are gonna be pretty strong. Again, I think they might be a little bit slower in the first 200, but Wesley and Lewis are gonna be very strong finishers. Thought Wesley looked really strong in that mixed gender relay last weekend.
A little surprised that they're not putting him in third.
Well, Lewis did have a really nice 1500 yesterday. Yup, he was silver in B division 1500, 146.7.
Okay. This U.S. squad, be fun to see how these guys do. Zach was in A group yesterday for the 500. Got bumped down to B due to points.
Hopefully they focus more on the top speed. It does not look like from that first 50 that that's the case. It sure looks like Austin is trying to sauce the first 50 as hard as he possibly can.
Do you think you could really talk Austin into not saucing the first 200 though?
No, absolutely not. But now is where you really need to pour it on. Oh my God, Austin. That was a little sketchy, and my guess is this is where the Dutch start to reel him back. But top speed, Cooper should still be pretty strong.
There we go.
A little bit more on the Dutch side there.
Pulled out a 10th from the Dutch.
Hopefully we'll show the U.S. team at some point.
See going into the last lap. See how Zach does here.
There we go.
Slowed down a little bit there, that last 200 meter.
Oh, that was a wide exit. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, super wide there from Zach.
Really nice half lap though. Whoever from the Netherlands really faded. Lewis. Can they stay in front? They do.
There we go, U.S. Way to go, guys.
Very nice race. Zach had a really strong first half lap of that one. So that was a good exchange. We didn't get to see it from the camera angle. Hopefully they can play that for us.
Yeah, it seems like our film crew is both from Italy and the Netherlands. Seeing as they didn't want to show Poland and they seemingly didn't want to show the U.S. there. But yeah, U.S. men with a W in the first team sprint of the season.
Oh, man.
Which
Coop should have stayed behind Austin a little bit longer on that. That's good though. There's things to work on for the next one. To still get the win out of that was great.
It also should be said that this counts towards, this is combined with the mixed gender relay.
Right.
Which, I mean, it should be pretty close here between the U.S. and the Netherlands in the overall World Cup standings after this one. A first and a third for the U.S. and a second and third for the Netherlands.
Nice work. Look at all their skates are almost the exact same Marchese's.
Yeah. The land of creativity is not showing in that group of skate color selections.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's good stuff. Definitely definitely room for improvement too. So they could go really fast.
Wow. Ning with a 13.0 in his last 200 meter split. 0.5 faster than Zach, who should be said had a fantastic lap.
Yeah, in one half a lap. That's
a lot of time. For those of you that don't know, half second in 200 meters is a lot of distance.
Sizable.
Yeah. But yeah,
US
way to go,
US. That was great.
Okay. So I'm about to come in here with a bold prediction.
Georgia Birkeland wins the mass start.
Actually, no.
Oh.
I'm gonna put all my chips in on her name is Irene. I was reading about her during the week, and it seems like she's kind of good at this distance. Seems to have some good results. She wasn't at the first World Cup. I'm guessing scared to compete against the field, but
that's probably what it was.
Yeah, she seems to be good at this one. So, yeah. Just tossing it out there. This Irene lady might have a good mass start.
I think she's my pick for the mass start. Vic had to go, not had to, but went with Evany, who did win last weekend.
All right.
But you got to think Schouten is the favorite.
Yeah. I mean, should be said as well, her teammate has seemingly just as much upside. More a matter of just how the race plays out, who ends up getting stuck in first. Wow, 2 U.S. teams in the top 10 for the men team sprint standings.
Not sure how
that's really
how they
good.
did it, but damn, they're good.
Damn. We're pretty legit, man. We're pretty legit.
That's an interesting stat. 48. Oh, so yeah, they're tied with the Netherlands right now for first.
Okay.
On the men's side. That is such an odd. I understand why they're doing it, trying to get the participation numbers up, but it's an odd way to do it, combining it with the mixed gender relay for points.
Yeah, it might sound like I'm particularly critical of the ISU, and that would be because I am. I think that they could do a much better job of creating new events for the sport. But yeah, some of the decisions that they make are perplexing to me. That being one of them. Yeah, Danny, I guess shorts aren't allowed at World Cups. They have a little bit of a dress code for the coaches. So no board shorts for Ryan.
No board shorts. Actually, Danny, he could wear board shorts. He absolutely could. It would just need to be part of the U.S. kit, and I think that would be allowed. There's no rule that you can't wear shorts, so he totally could. I think the only rule is you're supposed to be roughly matching. Go Georgie.
You know, I do know of the lingerie football leagues. I have a feeling that this isn't to be critical of Ryan. I have a feeling that him wearing lingerie might not have the desired effect on viewership.
It might, though.
It also might, but
I just want to point out one thing too. I did pick the United States team sprint men to get the dub, so my lead in the competition with Vic in our predictions, I'm just leaving him in the dust. It's like he doesn't even watch the sport.
I think that's because he kind of doesn't.
No, he does. He pays attention. Hmm. And he picked the Dutch. Did they hit the podium? Were they? Yeah, they were third on that one. All right. So he still gets a point. Evening Blondin.
Evening, a winner from last weekend. Won it in a field sprint. Over
ranked second. Who was second last weekend? Was it one of the?
It was
Dutch?
Esther Kiel.
That's why. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, last weekend silver medalist Esther Kiel is not racing. Was replaced by the pair of Dutch athletes that we were talking about a few minutes ago.
Marijke Groenewald.
Yes, that one, and Irene Schouten.
Schouten. Good phlegm in there. A little pink on the skates, okay. Steven muted. I got. Oh, are you talking? No, okay.
Oh,
yep, there we go.
We got big hopes for today's time trials in Salt Lake, Mitch.
I'm not looking to have our highest performance of the season in the November 18th time trials, but yeah, hopefully still some good races. But yeah, definitely they're at the end of 2 hard weeks, so no real expectations on the overall.
Okay. All right. Here's what I'm going to say is my hope from this women's mass start. I'm hoping that if some athletes break away with about 5 or 6 laps to go, that they don't just stand up after that sprint lap. We can make a go for the top.
Should be interesting. 24 women out there at once. This is fun. Here we go. Let's see. Hopefully our U.S. ladies can just find a nice little spot in that monstrous pack, not too far backwards. I'd love to see some nice breakaways.
So I'm correct in saying that Kuhn got DQ'd due to the neutral lap 1 year, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
So and this happened at a Can-Ams one time. I want to say it was like Ted and Jordan were skating the mass start together.
Right.
And Ted, I think it's written in the rules, correct me if I'm wrong. It's written in the rules, no accelerations in the first 400. So Ted took that to mean that if I just start off at a full sprint, I'm not technically accelerating. How do you think that should be interpreted?
I'm not sure how I feel about it, really. The tough part is obviously, pushing to the side, you take up a lot more distance. It's not like a running marathon, because in a running marathon there's no There's no entry time. You just go.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with an inline marathon. It's just go. But damage to blades is not a priority or a possibility, really.
Yep.
So I think there does need to be some sort of a neutral lap, but I think if you're the leader, you should be able to haul ass if you want. Like, you're the one that's leading it out for the first full lap, so if you want to take it at whatever pace you want, then let the chaos happen behind you. I don't see why. I don't see why that's an issue.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, they were not very pleased with him. In the moment, I think they eventually got the field to listen to them and to stop after maybe 800 to 1,200 meters.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, he essentially just went and did the same thing the second time. They just kind of gave up on stopping him. Marika going on a little attack here. 10 laps to go.
Interesting to see.
Yeah.
The race sprinter going with her.
You think this could be her racing for Valerie?
Could be. Would be something to watch for. Georgia needs to get into the pack there, get some draft again.
Yeah, Evening also maybe just.
Oh, here we go, another acceleration. Looks like out of Schouten.
Yeah, Evening also could have just been catching Marika there to just kind of put a nix to that attack. Maybe saw where Valerie was in the pack and knew that she needed to
make the move herself.
Bridge that gap herself. Yeah, Irene leading out the field here. 8 laps to go.
Looks like these two ladies from Zanlander are coming in guns hot with some strategy.
Yeah.
See how it plays out for them.
It's a bold move, Cotton. Leading laps in a mass start.
Oh, she is close to the Japanese girl. Looks like that's Ramona Hardy getting. No, I don't know who got that at the line.
I think the Japanese lady got that one there. She did. Also, I might be incorrect here. I'm pretty sure they just missed a lap up on the animation. Marika going with another acceleration. Skater 14 from China trying to go with her. She's got about 40 meters right now on the field.
It's a nice break. Lap 10. Yeah. One of the Canadians more than likely is going to have to put the work in to catch back up.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of those situations where it's you have a decision to make, and it's kind of a lose-lose situation. If you're Canada, you're tossing Valerie or Evening in front of the pack, making them put in work, and you just know that Irene's probably sitting in fifth in that pack, just resting up. Yeah, she actually leading the pack, interestingly. Maybe doing what we thought Phillip should have done last week, just putting the brakes on in the field.
Right, but man, I think this one's about wrapped up. Unless we really see some hard breaks from a number of these ladies.
Yeah.
8-5 lap, pretty solid.
Yep, 4 to go here for Marika. She's got a nice lead, settling into a pace, and she's got her teammate up in the front of that main field. Just, I'm assuming, just controlling every move, matching everybody, trying to slow things down.
8, 9, she still looks pretty energetic here, so I don't see this one coming back.
Yeah, that field, they are seemingly racing for second right now. Yeah, they just all stood up in the pack, drifted out to the outer. Barring absolutely insane last 800 from this main field. Looks like Marika Groenewegen, or however it is, Groenewald, is going to take the dub here, this second women's mass start. A little bit unexpected, but also not very unexpected.
Yeah, this is one of the breakaway possibilities. Whoa, a knee down. Wow, Urig, nice comeback.
Yeah, shout out to Michelle.
That was pretty slick.
Yeah. I kind of had one of those happen yesterday. I did a little fast skate effort. Had already coasted for like 80 meters. Was setting my right down, caught an outer. I think ended up doing like a crossover in the straightaway to catch myself on my left. So did a crossover turning right, and caught it, stayed up. If you're Marika here, you're just finishing off your little set of laps that you did. Take home a nice little purse with your teammate who's probably about to finish second in the sprint.
Yeah, didn't have to do much there. Now, how come they didn't show Victor on his breakaway and they've shown her the entire way, not showing the back once? All right, now go back. We just won.
That
race is still going on.
Lap 17. No, race isn't going on, Mitch. Why would we possibly show the remainder of the field? Oh, no. Canada is going to go 2-3.
Wow.
Mia crossing the line in fourth, and Evening crossing the line in fifth. The Canadians seemingly still pretty excited with that result.
Are you saying Evening or Eveny?
Evening.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard an N on the end there.
Tommy, you're always crushing it. Oh, I didn't read off Tommy's mass start pick.
That's nice for Team Canada, though. 2-3.
Yeah.
But I feel like they should be a smidge disappointed in letting... They've got two of them, so they know the plan every time. They should just have one of them. Their focus is to mark the other Dutch girl every single race.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Kind of bittersweet if you're Canada. Yeah, you get two spots on the podium, which is awesome. But you got to know that the Dutch are going to try to do something, and you essentially just handed them an easy victory, not trying to reel that breakaway in.
Right, and a pack race, it's kind of I don't know, in my opinion, more of a consolation prize if you're not the winner. You know, it's either winner, go home for the mass starts.
Yeah. See Irene leading the pack there. I mean, we didn't the biased ISU film crew, that
Good Lord.
is for sure a thing. Didn't give us much of a shot of the main field while Marika was in the lead, but I'm guessing Irene was doing a lot of work in the front of the pack to keep everything under control. Yeah, I'm with you though, Mitch. I'll take crossing the line first and fifth over second and third for sure.
Right. Yeah, you want the win. That's what they go for sure. Let's see. How did they end up? I don't know if they've done the points just yet. They did.
All right. Mitch, I'm not trying to put a clock on this, but if we could wrap this up in the next 5 minutes, it would be much appreciated.
I'd say we just hop off now. I think that's it.
Okay.
We got all the races done.
Yeah. Everybody who's been watching, listening, thank you.
Thanks all.
We will be finishing off these first 2 World Cups tomorrow morning. And yeah, thank you for being here. Always fun.
Tomorrow again, 2 a.m. my time, 3 a.m. Steven's time. So yeah, it's been fun. We want to watch the races anyway, so it's not such a horrible strain. It's just exhausting physically.
It should be said. We're doing this because I'm loving it. It's been a lot of fun. So I'm happy that we have some people watching. Happy that we have people participating in the chat.
Yeah, I think too, Stavanger will be a bit easier. I'll be at Stavanger and Poland, but I think we'll still be able to find a way to make something work. And again, hopefully you can do live from the rink there and just have a bunch of different skaters come by and say what's up. So we'll see what we can do. But otherwise, see you guys tomorrow evening.